सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
A day later, they got discharged and strict instruction about his health. They had weakness and they need to take care of himself more as he need to feed his children. The car stopped in front of their apartment and Yoongi with Jimin and his mother went out with the twins in their hands. Don't let him walk. He's still weak. Carry him to his room. Yoongi ordered as they all went inside. Jungkook turned to Tae and found him already staring at him. Getting out of the car, he put his hand on his back and the back of his knees before picking him up in the arms. They wrapped his arms around his neck. They both stared into each other's eyes, and their hearts started beating loudly in their chest. Their breath held as his scent hit his. He walked inside. The photo Yoongi captured at Invo engagement party. He looked at the other side. It was the photo, a 23-year-old Jungkook, which they always keep with him. His heart will love for the boy even more. Whole day and night start and end with him. Even that they miles apart from each other. But the thought that they always kept him closer to him all the time made him feel truly special. He could see through their soul, which was showing the fear that he might not talk to him. In the words leave they in anger. He could see the slight blow of their lips as he could cry any time if he remained angry. The innocent love might look to other for loving an already married man, but he knew better. A love that they had to with the innocent as a newborn. Why do you love me this much? I don't deserve your love. Jingle looked down as his eyes filled with tears. They held his face and laughed. They smiled softly at him. It's given me everything. It's given me the feeling of being loved, which I have never felt before. It made me feel like life is worth living, which no one made me feel before. I was not alone and weak in this world when you entered in my life. They asked innocently, tilted his head a little. For me, you and your happiness come first. You deserve everything I have. You deserve much more. Jungkook pulled Tae in his arms, wrapping his arms around him. And the most importantly, our love gave me our beautiful set of twins. They held him back in comfort. With your handsome face, of course. Does that mean I love you more than you love me, that our sons took after all? He said, you can never love me as much as I love you. He started, will not agree on that. He smiled as he knew they was right. I miss you so much. He cupped their face as a long tear escaped his eyes, as he thought he could never get Taehyung back. He felt he lost Tae and could never see him face again. I miss you too, they whispered in a cracked voice, and the tear fell from his eyes, remembering all the days and nights he spent missing him to no end, or remembering every moment of his pregnancy when he always needed him by his side, but he was not there. They wiped his cheeks and stared into his eyes before Jungkook leaned and kissed their tears away. They closed his eyes, leaving the moment they yearned for. He kissed their other cheeks before kissing eyes, one by one, and then his forehead, nose, chin, stopping near his lips. The open his eyes was filled. His movement stopped. They found him staring at him, and without thinking much, they closed the distance between their lips. Their eyes shut down as they felt the love all over again. He was silent for some time, as they were speaking his lips for a few times, as it had forgotten how to kiss. He smiled against their lips before opening them and landing the kiss, making them. It was soft before it went into passion that also didn't know. After some time, Yoongi and Jimin and his mother come into the room with twins. They all spent some time before Yoongi and his family went back to their house, promising to come back tomorrow again. Jungkook made the dinner for both of them. and feed them with his hand until they begging him to stop. Jungkook played with his twins and they stared at the father wide eyes. After 2 days of their birth, he could not get enough of them and wanted to play with him all the time, and they had to make him understand that they need to feed and sleep, and babies start crying. They feed the babies and Jungkook carefully placed them on the cot. As the baby slept, he come back to the bed and lay with Taehyung. They smiled and closer to him while he wrapped his arms around Tae, taking him in his arm. They sleep peacefully after months. It was earlier in the morning when the doorbell rang, disturbing their sleep. They strangled in his chest. He rubbed their back for softly. You go back to sleep, I'll check, he told him, getting out of the bed, and they went to sleep. He rooted on his place as he opened the door. He stood, his mother and brothers were and few gifts in their hands. My child, Miss John pulled Jungkook into a hug. I am so happy for you, she beamed and kissed his forehead. After her invo pulled him his elder brother in a hug, and Kai joined them. Congratulations, Hyung. We are so happy. Finally, we become uncle. They both excited. Jungkook told back. And then look at their face. What are you guys doing here? And who told you the address? He asked coldly, making his mother. After knowing that, you are in Daegu and they gave birth to twins. We called Yoongi Hyung yesterday and he told us the address. You should not come here, Jungkook said, and walking away from the door. He can't make them go back as they travel a long journey. What are you saying, Jungkook? What do you mean we should not come here? We come here to meet our family, her grandsons, as Dawn said, as much love she almost hoped to see Jungkook child as she knew they left him, and Sana could not be a mother again, and Jungkook could never leave Sana to marry again. Where are my grandsons? I want to meet them, she said, looking at. They woke up and hearing his soft cries of baby. As his slave was already waked by the doorbell, they got out of bed and went to the cot, picking up the second born in his hand. He caught the baby. Just then another one also started crying. Taekook, baby, don't cry, Mama is here. They tries to calm him. Jungkook was talking with his family when he heard his son crying voice and ran inside the room with his family behind him. Cook, look, Taekook is also crying, they said as soon as he saw Jungkook walking inside the room. He walked closer to Tae and picked him, Taekook, baby in his hand, rocking him around. They felt other person in his room and turned only to find Jungkook's brother and their mother standing there, while tears in their eyes. His breath had seen them all suffering she had and how they only increased to make their outside and time roamed in front of their eyes. Miss John called forward and he held himself anymore. He stood in front of them. Miss John came forward as they could not hold himself. How are you, son? She asked. They nodded out in respect. I'm fine, they muttered as his mother looked at the baby in their hand, in caps, seeing the exact copy of his son. She turned to Jungkook and looked at the baby in his hand, which was also like his brother. Jungkook felt hurt. His mother hesitated and restless to see and hold his sons. Look at they as they were. They nodded slightly, and then Jungkook forwarded his hand. His mother didn't waste a second to grab his baby. Oh God, my Jungkook kids, my family hires, she explained, clenching the baby in her hand, while pure love and see her grandsons. They gave the other baby in Jungkook camp before leaving the room without looking at anyone else. Jungkook stayed as he left the room and signed. He will not never force they to welcome his family with open arms, and they also treat they as they wanted without care for Tae, even after knowing.